In today's video, I'm going to be sampling again. I'm going to sample one bass note from Soundgarden's I Awake from their 1989 album Louder Than Love. And this song starts with basically two bass notes. I'm going to sample the first one, put it into Sampler in Ableton Live and create a beat around this one sample. So let's hear the original first. Let's see if I can play it. So the song starts with two open bass notes, a B and an A sharp. I'm thinking to sample the first one and maybe we can build a bass line in a similar way, or at least with the same two starting notes as in the Soundgarden song. So let's go to Ableton and let's do some sound design. So here in Ableton I have the beginning of the track. Let's drag it into Sampler and let's change the start and end points. Let's change the volume a bit. As you can see, they're not completely on point, so I have to adjust the tuning a little bit. But first let's change the start and end point for the first note. You see this is a B, it's a bit sharp, so let's detune it and let's put the root note to B2. So now when I play a C on the keyboard, we actually have a C. And the track starts with these two notes, a B and an A sharp. So let's put that into our track as well. So maybe let's repeat that. And then for the fourth bar, let's create something else. So maybe something shorter and also a bit different. Maybe one. So we are in the key of B major. Let's do something like this. So that's a nice little bass line. Then I have this pad sound from, it's a preset called Airport Pad. So I play an E, a B and an A sharp. So the pad is much slower. It doesn't exactly follow the bass line, but it is in the same key. And it's kind of on a sort of macro level. And then I created this 808 drum kit of 808 beat with the standard Ableton drum kit. And I used the squeeze and drive in G. This is the drum bus effect. So when you go to drum bus, audio effects, it's this one, it's a preset. So just the drums by itself. And with some variation. And then on top of the bass, the drums and the pad. And then I added some percussion, a little bit of a shaker. And that shaker is sampled from a record, it's from a vinyl drums sample pack. You can find it on Gumroad. And then here's some rides. And then, of course, to kind of roughen it up, some vinyl crackle. Also from the vinyl drum sample pack. So then all together, it sounds like this. So yeah, that's just a quick idea of how you can use one single bass note from an old rock track and kind of have a bass line that has some similarity with it, because the first two notes are the same, but then it's also different. The tempo is very different, and overall vibe of the track is very different with the 808, and the pad is much more mellow and electronic, of course. But this is something I like to do a lot, where to find one sample, one note basically in a sample, and then create an instrument with that so that you can actually play whatever you want to play. And in this case, I didn't do any sound design to the note. You can put this through a distortion or other effects, or just play it in a very different scale. So if we go up to C4, it becomes very short, but maybe if you loop it, let's actually try that. Let's make a copy of this. And what if we put on the sustain mode, add some crossfade, and put on a low cut EQ and maybe an effect like a delay, of course. See if we can create something quite different, maybe some reverb as well, just a little bit, or not a little bit, a lot. Let's see. And maybe a little bit of attack to change the sound even more. So maybe what if we add 50 milliseconds of attack and a release of 1500. And because the sustain mode is on, we can actually play much longer notes than the original sample. And just with the attack, a bit of delay and reverb, we really transformed this bass note into something completely different. And it has some kind of Eastern vibe to it. I feel it really took the original sound from Soundgarden into a completely different world. Let's put in some MIDI notes just to have something. So we're in octave 4, we're still in B major. Let's see if we can quickly put something together. Maybe that's a bit too high. And if we compare that to the original note, you see, if you can hear that it is, we took it to a different world. Maybe we want to change that actually to a 4-bar loop, extend one note to show that it is. Now with the sustain mode on, you can actually play very long notes. And of course, when you use the sustain mode and I put the back and forth mode on with some crossfade, you still hear a little bit of the crossfade point of where it actually turns around. But that's kind of the charm of using these kind of samples. If you don't want that, then it's easier just to use a synthesizer and then put the sustain all the way up, and then you have that as well. So that was it for this video. Hopefully this was inspiring. Try to look for samples where you can just find one clean note that you can sample and try it out in Sampler, in Ableton, or in Simpler, or in any other kind of software or hardware sampler that has this functionality where you can put in one note and it pitches it over the keyboard. And let me know what kind of results you have in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Keep making music and see you in the next one.